Now funding on Kickstarter a brand new set of Halloween mask pins, vintage style pins designed by me, Kneon. Check it out at halloween.ninja. That's halloween.ninja. Man, the mainstream media keeps rooting for Paramount's failure in the acquisition, the merger talks. They're talking now in the Hollywood Reporter that time is not on Paramount's side. They're like, oh, look, you're getting sued by a bunch of states. It's gonna delay you by like 2 weeks or what.
Well, they're because I guess they didn't have it closed by a certain time, which we've mentioned before. They were going to have to pay shareholders so much money per quarter, which we already knew. We talked about before. And the lawyers for Paramount's like, why did you wait until now to if you were worried about these things? Why didn't you wait until now? And that's because they're trying to cost them more money. To try to thinking they're going to stop. But again, we covered this extensively. If no one buys Warner Brothers, it's probably going to be broken up or destroyed. And if your claims are you're trying to save jobs, then that proves that that's not their claims. And that's what we're looking at. But what I'm getting mad about, like, I honestly didn't care if Netflix or Paramount bought it. I didn't give two shits who won. This is all about TDS because the Ellisons are friends with Trump and CNN, and their hypocrisy and double standards are what I'm pissed about. The fact that you care now, but you didn't care when other people did things, and it's like they're looking for any stupid excuse to try to be like, this is why you can't do it, and anything, spaghetti against the wall to try to find a reason. But all the reasons are hypocrisy, and that's where I'm mad about. Like, stop the hypocrisy. Just be honest about what it's about.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. We'll talk about some updates in this situation. We should know, I think the 22nd is when the judge was supposed to rule on whether or not they actually have a case, these attorney generals from these states, to block the merger. I think this is just an attempt to slow it down. I think they know it's not going to stop. They're not going to wake up one day and be like, you know what, you guys are right. You know what, we really think we should just not buy it. Yeah, we're just not going to do that. Yeah.
Honestly, at this point, I say no one buy it, let it fall apart, let it just go away, and then they all lose their jobs. Yeah. And then I don't want to fucking hear about it. I'm just, because it's so ridiculous. You all deserve what you get at this point in time.
See also the double strikes, which went just about as well as we told you. And you can trace all of Hollywood's pain back to the double strikes. Now, they were already kind of hurting a little bit, I guess, because of COVID. But things really got bad after the strikes because everything cost more, everything shut down. And once these studios realized, hey, we don't need to churn out as much content as we were. In fact, it benefits us to not churn out as much content and pay you people and greenlight a bunch of stuff that nobody's watching anyway. Wow, okay, that's going to be the new normal going forward. And that sort of sped up the decline of Hollywood. So, yeah. And people said that would happen. They're like, you can't just threaten Hollywood like that and shut the system down. Not in today's economy, not with the tech companies propping up these Hollywood studios. They'll just step over you.
Well, even this dumbass, this attorney general dumbass. Okay, let's go down this rabbit hole. So Paramount doesn't buy it. It gets broken up, sold off for parts. And there all those jobs that would, then this is going to be absorbed as redundancy. So a lot more jobs will be gone. And then you're going to have, all that tax money gone from Warner Brothers. And then if Paramount then, as a middle finger to you, leaves the state on top of it, you have even more tax money gone. And then what are you going to effing do? I mean, they are so stupid. It is painful.
Well, it's like New York. They're doing the same thing. They're making it as hard as possible for people to do business in New York. And then they're crying when people leave and take the tax dollars with them.
Yes. You get what you deserve.
All the billionaires are leaving California because they're like, we can't afford to be here. They're like, well, you have to pay your fair share. It's like, well, this other state says we don't. So we're going over there.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're going to do what's best for you. You're going to do what's best for your business. And I don't know in what fantasy land these people are living. They're living in La La Land that you can just keep.
La La Land?
You can keep operating at a loss indefinitely. I don't understand why they think these studios who are bleeding out money are going to be able to survive without somebody being their sugar daddy. I don't get
now survive till 35,
Yeah, exactly. Right. So let's talk about all this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
If you'd like more Clownfish TV, go out to more.clownfishtv.com. That's moreclownfishtv.com for more podcasts and episodes you will not find anywhere else. And also, if you'd like to listen to us, you can go out to iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Look for Clownfish TV podcast. We are there. So thank you very much for that. So let's look at this article. This is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. Time isn't on Paramount's side. A court on Friday considered whether to issue a temporary restraining order that would freeze the Warner Brothers deal for a short period. Paramount still intends to close by the end of the quarter.
We kind of talked about all this stuff, but what I want to focus on is this idiocy that they're trying to stick with, which is we can't let this go through because they'll have too much of the market share. So the lawyer for the states, this Weingarten, is going on about, this is what got me. This is the largest merger in Hollywood history. No, I don't think so. See also Disney and Fox and those things too. It's an industry transforming merger. For every dollar generated at the box office, he had, the combined company will pocket more than a quarter of the transactions if it's allowed to go through. Yeah, except Disney already has 28% of the box office market. Disney, because they bought 20th or 21st Century Fox or whatever it was, they have more than a quarter already. You didn't do anything to stop that. You let that go through, and you had absolutely no problem with it when it was Disney. Disney, I mean, math. I know math's racist to some of you people, but math, 25% is a quarter, 28% is more than a quarter. Okay, and like you said to me, if Warner Brothers, if Paramount buys Warner Brothers, it's still below Disney on the market share of the box office.
Yeah, they'd be 20. According to this chart, it would be 27%. I
saw Disney at anywhere between 27.5 and 28%, which just tracks. So then they would be two that would own. That would be 50% with these two studios. But you didn't have a problem with it when it was Disney.
Right.
You have a huge problem. Now, I want to point out, too, Warner Brothers is number 2 with 21%. So what the fuck do you think is going to happen if Warner Brothers has to be sold off and it folds? That's 21% of the box office. That's a lot of jobs. And for making movies, isn't it?
They don't think this through. That's what, again, this goes back to the strikes. Like, I'm not saying don't strike for better working conditions, whatever. They were basically trying to get these companies to stop with the AI and to give them more money from streaming revenue, not realizing that, like, look, there are very few individual shows that warrant the salaries that you guys are asking for. And really, like, most of these streaming services are propped up by one or two hits and then everything else. And you're in the everything else. So we can just cut that because you cost too much now. So,
right. Yeah. And that's what you're going to do again, because if Warner Brothers is 21% of the market and you pull this shit and they sell some of their stuff off, they'll go other places, but the jobs aren't going to all go there too. Like, the jobs are going to be cut much worse if it has to fold. And again, it's almost at 25% already, Warner Brothers is. So, but Disney is over that 25%. So you're trying to make a case that you can't have any one studio own that much of the market. But yeah, didn't say shit when Disney got Fox, and Disney's been sitting at more than a quarter of the market all this time. That was fine. It only matters now, right before the deal's going to close, because, you're full of shit. And that's what I'm mad about. I don't care who bought it, Netflix or Paramount or whatever. It's the hypocrisy and the bullshit and the double standards that I'm getting pissed about. And the lies. Just be honest. You don't want them to have it because of your TDS and because of CNN.
Yeah, if it were anyone else, I mean, they were kind of nervous about Netflix, but they would have been like, well, Ted Sarandos will let us keep on keeping on, and probably, he's on the right side of history, and that'll all be good. But they're like, oh shit, the Ellisons are friends with Trump, and Trump hates CNN, and they're going to get CNN. Oh my God, look what they did to CBS News. They made them truthful. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm like, looking at this, and right here, Warner Brothers, Disney, and then what's the one underneath it? Is it
Universal?
Universal. They have almost 70% of the box office anyway.
Yeah.
Why aren't you breaking them up?
So this is the thing. Yeah. So Warner Brothers has 21%. For those of you who are listening, Warner Brothers has 21% of the market share. Paramount has 6% of the market share. Disney, which includes 20th Century Fox and Searchlight and all of that, has 28% of the theatrical ticket sales.
The movie theater box office shares. So that's what they're saying. They're worried about.
Right. And that was coming from this chart here from Statista.com. So the other the other chart, which is really interesting, is a company's marketcap.com puts Netflix, Disney, Sony, Spotify, Comcast, and NetEase above Warner Brothers in terms of entertainment companies by market cap.
But that's everything. I think that's the streaming combined with theaters. So that Netflix only having streaming, having very little theatrical presence, was still significantly above Disney. Right. Their market cap's what, 290 billion.
Yes.
And Disney's is 160 billion. But so if Netflix bought Warner Brothers, that would have combined their cap with another additional 67 billion, making them far exceeding everyone else in the market cap overall. But that was okay. That was fine. But Paramount, hell no, and they keep focusing on the box office, because Netflix said they were going to do the box office, but everybody knows they were just going to set it for a year or two, and then, well, we got what we wanted, whoopsie doopsie, not worrying about it now.
I don't even know if Paramount's on this list.
It was on there. I saw you pass it.
It's like way down the list, though. Hold on. We'll see if we can find it here. We'll do a search. Paramount. Paramount Skydance.
I saw you pass it.
Paramount Skydance is number 33 on the list of like all entertainment companies by market cap. And it's hard to just judge, and that could come up too. It's hard to say that you're comparing apples to apples with theatrical or whatever, because these companies are basically all multimedia companies at this point. Everybody kind of does a little bit of everything. So really, Netflix is a very appropriate competitor, because they were trying to argue it's going to be a streaming conglomerate. I'm like, Disney and Netflix are way bigger.
Can I just point this out? Paramount Skydance is below Hasbro. It's below DraftKings and MGM Resorts, on the list. Go back up. So they have 9.8 billion there. And you mix it with Warner Bros. Discovery, it's still significantly lower. So we'll just say 10, add another 10. So it'd be like 77 billion, significantly lower than all the competitors as far as the market cap is concerned. And Netflix and Disney, Netflix is leading the pack by twice, almost, not quite twice, but like a lot more than, twice what Sony has and stuff. It's ridiculous. And then to make these arguments, that's what's frustrating to me, is the arguments are so stupid and they're so full of shit. And that's what, and they're trying desperately to make this stick. And they're literally wasting taxpayer dollars from these states with this idiocy.
Yeah, it's not going to go this way. I mean, they're basically just trying to stall out for as much time as they can.
Yeah, but the other alternative, as we've said, is it all goes under and you have nothing. And honestly, and I hate to say it at this point, I'm kind of rooting for Paramount not to buy it, just so they can stick it to them to be like, well, you fuck around, find out, I guess. Because
you got what you wanted.
Tired of this.
Because it will. They already said that if Warner Brothers does not get sold off completely, because they had two other companies that were interested, but they only wanted part of it, they're going to chop it up and sell it off.
That's the most likely outcome. Yeah, that's what the insiders are saying.
So there is no scenario in which things continue as they are, and I don't understand the thought process.
I guess it's like, I don't care who gets it. I'm just more so frustrated over the hypocrisy, double standard. Okay, well, it's going to raise the prices of streaming services. The prices have been going up to ridiculous levels, and you said nothing across the board. Netflix
is the leader in streaming. Disney is in second place, and they both raise their prices like every quarter now.
Right, and you say nothing, and people are complaining about how it's getting too expensive, and you do jack shit about it. But this is the line that you're going to draw in the sand. And then if they're going to own too much of the market share for theatrical. But you said nothing when Disney owned more, and even combined, Disney's still going to own more. I don't see it breaking them up.
No, actually, I would argue I think Disney should be broken up, because I think they do own too much, and they've got their fingers in too many.
They can't take care of it.
They can't take care of it. And I think, honestly, they should divest themselves of some of the stuff. But they're
not gonna.
No.
But what was the other article you had pulled up? Like it's culturally terrible, because it's going to ruin the culture of Hollywood.
Yeah, this is coming from The Guardian in the UK, so they're going to write about Hollywood. But this guy is saying the Paramount-Warner Bros. Merger, bad news for Hollywood, but great news for Tennessee. Yet more consolidation means one less studio, inevitable redundancies, and a blow to this city's cultural heritage. Okay,
well, they're right about the redundancies, but the cultural heritage, in what way? Because MGM got bought out by Amazon. You said nothing. Right. These guys are looking. Other studios were legacy studios that they got bought out. AMC got bought out. MGM got bought out. 21st Century Fox got bought out by Disney. But now Warner Brothers and Paramount, those are the ones we need to worry about. I'm like, but you didn't say anything when all those other ones, if you're worried about the historical culture of Hollywood, you said shit. And how many over the years have these all been rolled into each other? Because, they were all separate studios that kept getting rolled into each other for decades before this.
Yeah, so this is his point here. He's talking about that. He's actually talking about all these studios getting gobbled up. I'm like, beyond that, the studios have been, do a little history research and look into it, and you will see that most of Hollywood has been subsidized by other industries for at least the last 50, 60 years. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, it's basically a lot of
these corporations that own Coke and stuff were owning.
They own Paramount for a while.
Encounters. Like we were watching Close Encounters the other day, and Coke was all over the place. We were like, I was laughing about it, and then you pointed out, you're like, oh, that's because Columbia Pictures, the people that own Coke own Columbia Pictures. Yeah, that's basically what's going on. People who own it, they've been owned by corporations and the oligarchy for years.
And now Columbia Pictures has been swallowed up by Sony, which is a tech company.
They're all tech companies that own these. Shit.
It's like,
but this tech company in particular, fuck that.
Right. That's what's so weird about this. It's like this particular tech company is a problem when other tech companies and other major corporations have owned Hollywood studios basically as a plaything. Let's be honest here, guys, because the reality is your industry is not the most necessary industry in the world. It's nice to have entertainment, but entertainment's also the first thing that gets cut. And you built your entire livelihoods in Los Angeles around the entertainment industry, which can get cut pretty easily. And consumers now are starting to cut more and more entertainment out of their diets because it's making them fat and lazy and stupid.
It's just the hypocrisy is what makes me mad. Like, laws are broken. Laws are broken in Hollywood. In Hollywood, you don't say. They break laws all the damn fucking time. Let's be honest here. But this law in particular, this one instance, it was like Elle Woods in, Legally Blonde. Why this one sperm? Why didn't you care about the other ones? Why? Sorry, I hit the table. Why this one? That's just what it's like. It's just, I just can't even with the gymnastics that the contortions you're going through to try to be like, but this case is, that one, whatever. But this one, and it's just, that just blows my mind. And honestly, at this point, I think y'all should I hope that it all falls apart and y'all lose everything because you're being ridiculous.
Well, that's what's interesting here, because they said instead of taking the hint, Paramount's continuing to push back on claims. This comes from The Guardian. Paramount's continuing to push back on claims the deal will cripple LA's film industry by considering another move that would cripple LA's film industry.
Okay, well, yeah, right, dude. Yeah, go you.
The Hollywood Reporter revealed that Tennessee's governors are trying to get him to go to Tennessee.
Yeah, which we talked about. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: if you're suing them and you're making it clear, and this is coming, this is after Ellison's like, I'm trying to get you guys tax credits. We're trying to save Hollywood. We're trying to keep things here. Whatever. You're still being assholes. Yeah, they're going to move out of California because you're going to fight him tooth and nail the entire time he's there. And then you're going to bring the unions into it and all this other shit. And it's going to be a huge mess. So, yeah, of course
when he leaves, there goes all the tax money. And when Warner Brothers folds, there goes all that tax money.
Yeah, and you deserve it because you made things as difficult as possible for people to do business in California.
At the end of the day, because they're friends with Trump and CNN.
Yeah, that's what it's about. That's ultimately what it's about. And they're trying to say it's something else, but we've seen other examples. It's very clearly because you're just beside yourselves. The possibility of losing CNN, which nobody's really watching, by the way. Nobody's watching CNN. CNN's been subsidized for years too. All these media outlets, these studios, they're subsidized. They spend more money than they bring in, so you got to get somebody else to give you money, and the government's not giving you money anymore.
Well, so now Ellison was out there trying to get them more money from the government, and their answer is to do this. You get what you deserve. But don't tell me it's about jobs, because if it was about jobs, you wouldn't be doing this. Don't tell me you're worried about the market share for the theatrical, because you wouldn't have let Disney get what they had. So you're full of shit. You're a hypocrite. You're lying. And that's what I'm mad about. Like, whatever. Whoever gets it, gets it. But you guys, this circus around it is just so blatant bullshit that I just can't sit here and not say something about it.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Now funding on Kickstarter, a brand new set of Halloween mask pins, vintage style pins designed by me, Kneon. Check it out at halloween.ninja. That's halloween.ninja.